Are Magic the Gathering players funny? Well, we're back this week to take a look. Last week was a pretty decent week, and we're gonna jump right into this week. So let's see what we're working with. First up, Ophiomancer. 2 and a black, human snake shaman. It's Ophiomancer, but instead it says God makes a snake. Boy, these things are a cinch. So if you aren't terminally online, you'll know that one of the memes this week on Magic the Circle Dragon that really took off was doing Gary Larson edits of certain cards for the Far Side comic. And like every meme this subreddit comes up with, it got run into the ground real fast. This one is one of the funnier ones. So let's see how many of these we see this week and how many of them are actually good. Next up, Commander player learns about other formats. Mark Rosewater. Magic with Class asked, is it okay when one card in a cycle is a different Commander identity than the rest? For example, the new Leyline cycle has the green Leyline as a 5-color identity, which means I can't play that Leyline in mono green unlike the others. Not every card is designed with Commander as its priority. Commander players bad, but unironically this time, there's no hyperbole. Dude's just like, man, I can't play the green Leyline in my mono green deck. Next up, another Far Side one. Victim of Night. It's Victim of Night. Oh yes, I guarantee these bullets are pure silver. Moments before he was ripped to shreds, Edgar vaguely recalled having seen that same obnoxious tie earlier in the day. That one's really clever as well. I really like it. The flavor text, the art, everything works really well with the card Victim of Night. It goes together really well. There are some really good Gary Larson edits. I'm just waiting for the bandwagoners. All right, next up. Blasphemous Act. It's Blasphemous Act, Gary Larson edit. You're sick, Jesse. Sick, because he's barbecuing. All right, that one's pretty all right. It says Blasphemous Act. Not bad. I'm a little biased. I really do like Gary Larson's Far Side comic. And I feel like a lot of this week is just gonna be me introducing Far Side panels to people if they haven't read Far Side before. It's like Boomer comic, but good. All right, next up, it is going to be a lot of Far Side this week. Crashing Footfalls, suspend for you gets Crashing Footfalls. Well, King, looks like the new neighbors have brought a friend for you too. That one fits really well. It's even got 2 rhinos for it. I do like some of these edits a lot. Exsanguinate. Pull out, Betty, pull out, you've hit an artery. Lot of Far Side this week. Next up, another Far Side, Thing in the Ice. That one's not bad. Let's see, did they do the other half? Oh, they didn't, no! They didn't do the other half of Thing in the Ice. They didn't do Awoken Horror. All right, I have to subtract points on that one because that's only half the card. You gotta do the other side too. Next up, Shatter. It is Shatter. It does kind of work with the comic strip itself, but this one's a little lazier. There's less thought put into this one. I don't really like this one as much. It's like, oh, coconut shattering the bottle. We can use that for Shatter. Next up, Gitaxian Probe. Can I even pronounce that? All right, hang on. Pronunciation. I spelled it perfectly.
2 different pronunciations. In English, you can pronounce it as Anatidiphobia.
We're gonna go with the first pronunciation. Anatidiphobia, the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. That one's not bad either. It's a good comic, all right? I promise. It is a really good comic. If you have not looked at Far Side panels, well, this is a great introductory week to start reading Far Side. All right, next up, Threaten. It's Threaten. Hey, bucko, I'm through begging. This is my point, you know, because like some of them are really clever and this one still works, it's still fine. It's just the meme got run into the ground so fast that it's like, how can there's only so much I can do. Like within the span of a week, this meme got run into the ground. So yeah, next up. I found the perfect alternative to EDH, Wingspan. I'm trying to understand the joke here. Okay, so there's no joke. The joke is, I found a format that's an alternative to Commander. Here's a board game that isn't a format. You got me. Huge missed opportunity for Duskmorn. The Calvin and Hobbes Snowman panels for basic lands. I do like them. Some of them are really good. I feel like the Forest one is like the really clever and creative one. And then the others is like, oh, well, we need to complete the cycle. So they got tacked on. Not unlike Wizards of the Coast's own design team. Next up, MTG players learning that a standard deck is made for standard game mode and not commander, gone wrong. Top review from the United States, Jaden, 2 stars. This deck contains 4 copies of Jagard Ghoulcaster. Well, it's sure a shame that in literally every single Magic format you were allowed only 1 copy of Jagard Ghoulcaster in a deck. The reviewer calls it Ghoulcaster instead of Ghoulcaller. Again, it's like, you know, commander player bad, but unironically. All right, next up, counters. What the fuck are these cards? I thought I included counters in my deck. Evil. Green Life. What the fuck are these cards? I thought I included counters in my deck. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. I do like that. It is clever. It is clever, though. It's a little older format, but it works. Nah, this one's good. This one's really good. I like it. All right, next up. Another Far Side edit. I haven't started to get a little tired of these yet. Tainted Remedy. What the? This is Lemonade. Where's my culture of amoebic dysentery? I like this panel. Sue me. Right, next up, it's Rankle's Prank with the Far Side panel, and yeah, it's a prank. It just doesn't feel like it fits. Feels like we're making it because everybody else is, so it's easy karma farming. I like Farside. The subreddit's trying to make me not like Farside. Swords to Cowshares. Swords to Plowshares with the famous Cow Tools panel. A lot of people had legitimate discussions over what the cow tools are supposed to be, and Gary Larson went, I don't know, it's just what I figured cows would have if they had tools. Don't worry guys, I fixed the lack of a new black leyline. Leyline of Shieldred. 2 double black. Legendary enchantment creature Shieldred 4/5. If Leyline of Shieldred is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Has Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Yeah, black decks in all the formats really need some help, so I really feel like printing Leyline of Shieldred instead of Leyline of the Void will really fix a lot of the issues that they've had. You know, they just need some boosts after recent bans. Another Far Side. It's Smothering Tithe. They're starting to get a lot more like ground into the paste. You found the first Far Side comic strip that references a tithe. You know, like the thing about meme trends is that if you don't have anything like good to contribute, don't karma farm off of it. Next up, okay, it's another Gary Larson. It's Zatalpa, Primal Dawn. Look out, it's dang, never can pronounce those things. Yeah, it's all right. It technically fits. You've been caught stealing, and it's the somebody leaked the some of the Marvel cards. They better hope they still don't have the Pinkertons. Oh my god, it's another Far Side posted 1 day ago, so you can tell that they were being creative. Walking Ballista. My project's ready for grading, Mr. Big Nose. Hey, I'm talking to you, Squid Brain. From Metal Shop 302. Yeah, it's just, we don't need to beat a meme into the ground so fast. Oh my god. Anguish done making. I was just complaining about how much Far Side there was, and it's a fucking lost meme. All right. Next up, Journey to Nowhere. Wait, cancel that. I guess it says health. It doesn't really, like, cause he's on an abandoned island, I guess? Sure, but like that doesn't, no, that doesn't fit. All right, next up. When do you think WotC is gonna finish this cycle? Ledger Shredder, Head Shredder. I do think the cycle ones are pretty clever. That one was good. I like that. All right, and that wraps up our meme review for this week. There were some really strong bangers this week. There were some funny Far Side ones, and then we kind of just were reading Far Side comic panels, lazily put on cards. Really strong week, all things considered. Just a few duds, a few bandwagoners kind of lazily jumping on the Gary Larson trend, but overall I was pretty happy. So this was a decent week. We'll check in next week to the subreddit to see how the memes are doing. And until next time, thank you all for watching and have a great rest of your day.